I'm going to share with you the highlights of my experience with anal cancer and how it was detected. I was well overdue for my gynecological examination, and I was making all kinds of excuses not to go because I felt like I had just been there. But as life would have it, it had been 14 months. So when I went to see my gynecologist and she was doing her exam, and we were chatting away as we always do. She did a digital rectal exam, which is part of her practice with her clients, and said she felt something that she didn't like. I thought nothing of it. I got on my phone and was texting away. She left the room. She called another doctor. I went to that appointment right afterwards, still not thinking anything except that, oh my God, I'm going to miss my daughter's basketball game. I spoke with that doctor briefly about our kids and Halloween costumes. She examined me, then looked at me and said, I just want you to know that whatever it is, it's curable. At which point I left my body. And then after a series of biopsies and a colonoscopy, it was determined that I had stage 2 anal cancer. I have to say I was in denial for a long time because it took a while to get the biopsy to be clear that it was cancer, although everybody suspected it was. So I'm going to just stop right here because to me, the most important thing about my story is that I had no symptoms. I had never had an abnormal HPV test. And if my gynecologist, Dr. Nancy Goldman, had not done a DRE, I would have skipped on my merry little way and it could have turned into stage 3 or stage 4. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about what could have happened, but I mean, emotionally, but obviously I know. So that, and the fact that 10 years prior, my husband went through throat cancer, HPV related throat cancer, made me go, what is going on? There's a virus. My husband had it. I had it, even though it never showed up on my pap smear. Table all this, I go through my treatment, which is pretty standard because it hasn't been changed in the last 30, 40 years, I don't know. Radiation, chemo, and came out the other side. And even then, I was still not sure what was going on. How did I get this? Probably like most people feel when they get something, any kind of cancer, but certainly anal cancer. And then of course it was anal cancer. I don't know, I think I wasn't working enough. I guess God wanted me to take on that role of being the anal cancer spokesperson, which frankly, I was not that interested in doing, but I started reading online that all of these women were lying and ashamed and not telling people what was going on with them. I had friends write to me after I went public and telling me they had HPV and they had hysterectomies or procedures, and they were lying to their husband's family. And there was all of this shame. And let me tell you, I have shame about a lot of things, my messy office that I'm looking at right now, but I thought, I'm not ashamed that I got this virus and that I have cancer. For God's sakes, it's bad enough to get cancer. Why should I walk around with shame about it? So anyway, lucky me, I meet Lillian because she reached out to me and she is a tour de force. I am actually much more of an introvert and she is a brilliant, beautiful, ebullient, that's how you say it, extrovert, and a powerful woman. And together we are just determined to move the needle on educating people about this virus, finding out about early prevention and making sure that happens, whether it's with a gynecologist, in a dentist office, in the doctor's office. And so my story, in terms of the cancer, isn't interesting. It's awful. It's a terrible cancer. The only thing worse is throat cancer. So what I got from it is a beautiful friend and a chance to make a difference in, that's what gets me emotional, in people's lives. And to make sure that somebody doesn't go in and get a stage 3 and a stage 4 diagnosis that is much harder to treat. So my cancer story is really about my post-cancer story. Okay, so that's why we're here today. And I'm so grateful to the doctors and Lillian for putting this together. And I hope if you're watching, you learn something, you advocate for yourself. If you're a doctor, I hope you up your ante on educating other doctors and really, really being a warrior for eradicating the ignorance about this virus and the stigma. That's so silly. I mean, we all got chickenpox at one point, you know. Oh God. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I thank you all for listening.